everybody. This is Carol from Paper Gone Rogue. Welcome to my channel. This is my second YouTube. It's been a long time since my first one. I ended up getting bronchitis and getting very hoarse in my voice and not being able to do a video because I would either cough or you wouldn't be able to hear me. So anyway, hopefully I'm going to start doing these every Thursday. And so welcome back if you saw my other video. If you didn't, welcome. I'm glad you're here with me today. Today we're going to work on some mass making of ephemera for sewing journals. So I have a journal I'm working on. Let me get it. It's down here. And it's a binder journal. And I absolutely love the cover. I'm not going to do anything to the cover. I'll kind of show you where I am at this point. I took out a lot of the pages. Here's some of my ephemera, and I added some papers, kept some of the papers in. So you can see I've started, but I haven't gotten terribly far in terms of making ephemera. I like what I've done so far, and I think it's going to be a very cool journal in the end. So, this idea for this session came from Diane Hubert from Pretty Pink Cottage. She did a whole lot of videos on making ephemera for journals, sewing journals. And most of it, what she did, she used what was already in packages, patterns. Yes. And it's easy to get the patterns. I mean, you can find them, well, in the States at Goodwill, other places, charity shops, estate sales, you know, people get rid of them. They don't use them anymore. So you can find them quite easily. So these are the ones that I made for my journal. This is what we're going to work on. This is going to be a pocket. And there's a little tag. This is a little corner tuck spot. Here is a tag. And this is one of the clusters I made in my last video. So you see you can use them on tags. And there's one. Most of the pictures came from either patterns or old sewing books that I've acquired from estate sales and Goodwill and stuff. And this one also was a cluster from my last video, and this was from an ad, and I really liked her, and I liked having the simplicity patterns on there, and then I tried to carry kind of a little bit of a red theme. So this is what we're going to do today. So you start out with I started out with a piece of, this is a file folder. You don't have to use a file folder, something that has a little, a little bit of weight to it. And then I went through, let me see where I am. I went through patterns and books and all kinds of things and just cut out a bunch of neutral pieces. That's going to go on there. But even before that, we are just going to start out with plain old pattern pieces. Now, somebody cut these all out. This is from a doll making pattern, or doll clothes making pattern. So, but they don't have to be all cut out. My other ones were not cut out. It just happened that this one was. So, boy, and it's got pins in it. How efficient of them. So, Diane didn't do this step. She just used both pattern pieces and neutral pieces and kind of mixed them up. I really liked when I covered the whole base with pattern pieces and then put on some neutrals onto it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll get us started on that. So I'm using a glue stick. And this is I like the Scotch glue sticks because they're really gluey. I mean, sticky, you know what I mean? And I almost didn't do that. I kind of found it was easier to put the glue on the cardstock because you put it on the pattern pieces and they all do their own thing. You know what I mean? They crinkle up because they're so lightweight. And I let them kind of hang over and then cut them when I was done. And I'm just going to use a little card to, oops, sometimes that happens and then you can just cover up the hole that you just made. I got a little too aggressive there. That's okay. Be gentle when you do that. I'll just overlap the next piece. So, maybe this will inspire some of you to try out making some sewing journals, because this is the first one I've done in a binder, and I think I'm really liking it. Because, you know, if you make a page that you go, I don't like that so much, you can take it out and put something else in. So I like that. I haven't done that, but I thought it does have that kind of added bonus to it. So I just kind of try to get as few wrinkles, but if you get wrinkles, it just can kind of add to it. And you might want to add wrinkles. Some things I do like to add wrinkles in. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, I didn't get that down, so I'll just put some glue down there. There we go. Yeah, it looks like this is not quite glued down. That's okay. So I kind of go over the edges and then just trim it off when I'm done, rather than having to be real careful about putting it on. All right, secured. This doesn't take really all that long because, you know, you can use big pieces on it, and that makes it go a little faster. Oh, that would work right in there. I think I'll put that one on top. Yeah, I hope all of you are having a great day. Has spring hit you guys yet? I live in Southern Oregon. Now they're talking about snow and rain this weekend. It's kind of cloudy, overcast today, but no rain so far. But I'm kind of ready for spring. I'm not a summer fan. I'm a spring and fall gal, especially. I don't mind winter, but I'm getting kind of tired of it right now. All right. So you can overlap. Just do it however you like. So I'm not going to spend the whole time gluing in front of you because you've got the idea and the magic of videos. Ta-da! So this one I completed. This one has has blue instead of the black lines, and Diane says that's because they're older. I don't know. I like them though. They're pretty. So once you do that, then you take your neutral pieces and glue them on. So they're, you know, just things like this. You know, I found this, some of these are from patterns, like these two are from really old patterns. Some are from a book that I found, or books. You know, these are easy to find at yard sales, estate sales. See this one? It says Encyclopedia of Modern Sewing. And there are a lot of things within this that you can use. So just look for those books and just cut stuff out of them. They're great. So let me put these back. There we go. And I am just going to start gluing them on. And you don't have to completely fill them with the images because you already have this great background. That's what I liked about this, is I didn't have to do tons of, cutting out pieces because I didn't need to fill it up. I kind of liked this was, they're all, even the writing is from different sewing things. So it's kind of fun to look through those. It's fun to look through those old sewing books, and some of these stereotypical images are interesting. Like this one dad has his paper and pipe, and mom is over there sewing and showing him what she's made, and he's smiling proudly at her. I don't know if my dad ever smiled proudly at my mom for making stuff. I think he was glad she did, because I think it probably saved a lot of money back then. And she was, did you guys have moms that were really good seamstresses? I preferred to have things made by her rather than store-bought stuff, actually, because she did a really beautiful job on what she made. But like when we did buy stuff, like when we went clothes shopping, which we did once a year in the fall, we would each have a trip with her and get clothes. And she would always look at the seams and go, oh, I could do better than that. And sometimes I wish she would. She would just go ahead and, I think that's a little bigger than what I want. I'm going to cut that in half. And I thought, oh, I wish, Mom, that you would make all my clothes. But, I mean, 4 kids, what can you do? That's a lot of work. There we go. These were, I look a lot for doll patterns. They're hard to find. But when you do, I really like them because the images are small. Sometimes the adult patterns, the images are so big you can't use them easily on, on just plain old, not plain old, but on tags. You have to find something bigger. Yeah, you can do big tags, I guess, with them, but not so much regular ones. So you see, I'm not putting them right up to, next to each other. It's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. And that's how I like it. Because then when we cut these into tags, they look really cool. And these are just fun to do, kind of relaxing. It was fun looking for the images. I had a lot more. I had more than what I thought. And I think that's true a lot of times. We kind of squirrel away stuff and then suddenly discover that we've got a lot. This was from a pattern for a little slipper for a little tiny person. I don't know if it was a baby or a doll. I'm not sure. It's probably I don't know. It could be either, really. A big doll or a little baby. So here we go. So I'm just going to put a few more on just to give you an idea. And I have one all done and cut out. So this is kind of the way I just keep going on this until I have what I think is enough, whatever that means. So like, I could put this, maybe I could put that going down there. This. So I try not to put much color in. If it has a little color, that's fine, but I'm trying to keep it really neutral. Oh, I glued that down. Yeah. So I keep it neutral so that when I decorate my tags, that's when I use the color. So this is kind of basically it. Then what I did was I cut this in half, and then I think I made 4 tags on this part. I made a pocket up here. I made some triangular tuck spots. You can make some smaller tags. You end up with a lot with what you do. So here is the one. I'll show you the one I finished and cut out. Like, this is going to be a pocket. Isn't that cool? This is going to be for a corner tuck. This is a tag, another tag. Most of the tags I cut that in, but if I cut it on that one, it would leave a hole in her head, and I don't know. That didn't seem too respectful. So there we go with those. And I still have some more left. This isn't all of them. So these are the ones that I'm showing you right now. There are some still, a long piece still left. So you can see, you can get quite a bit out of just that one piece. Easy peasy. I mean, you could use these like this. You could color that in and, use some colored pencil and use that as a tag. You could outline it. There's a lot of things you can do with these. And that's what I really liked about them. All right, so I think we are going to just decorate, I think, these 4 tags. Put the others aside for later. And that'll mean 4 more tags for my journal. So I am going to use, again, one of my clusters I made on the last video. And I'm trying to see which one I would like it on. I hate to cover up anything, but, you kind of have to. So I think I'm going to use this one right here. And there's that word doll right there. And then she has sparkle. I think this is a great one. And see, I've got everything on it. I really don't need to put anything else on this tag because this cluster has a little bit of everything on it. That's kind of the fun thing of clusters. So I think I will glue this down. I think I'm going to use, I don't know. I'm going to use, what do you call it? A silicone-based glue instead on this because it's kind of heavier. I'll put it down here. Come on, glue. It always works until, it works right before you start, and then there it goes. It's annoying. That's okay. I'm getting it. It's happening. So I hope you guys are doing some interesting projects. I encourage you to try doing a sewing journal. It's fun. Part of it is I love the hunt for the things to go in the journal is really kind of fun. This is coming up. I need to put, come on. Fabri-Tac what I'm using. But my bottle is being stubborn today. For some reason. I should have a pen right here so I can just go ahead and do something with it. Well, I am going to put glue stick down here since my Fabri-Tac isn't working so great. That's okay. We will, there, it works. I just thought it will be less awkward. All right, so there's that little one on there. She's kind of cute, a little sparkle, little doll. All right, so let's start on this. So it's kind of fun combining things that you have. I was thinking maybe I would put a button on this one. I have some really bright, you know, maybe I better pick what, if I'm going to put images or anything on it first. I have some nice rickrack. Don't you love the word rickrack? I don't know who invented it, but it is perfect. It perfectly describes rickrack, doesn't it? I remember when I was little, I would go, you know, rickrack, rickrack, rickrack. And it was great when my mom put rickrack on my clothes because I liked the feel of it. I liked the looks of it. And sometimes she would put it on there. Yeah, I think I'll just kind of frame it a little bit with the rickrack. And since one glue isn't behaving well, I will use, excuse my reach, my art glitter glue. Aha! It will behave for me, I'm sure, right? She says, hopefully. Okay, here we go. Come on, baby. There we go. I'm a retired teacher and an elementary school teacher, and I cannot tell you how many battles I've had with glue bottles. Oh my gosh, there was always something wrong with the glue bottles. And I would, you know, work with the kids on, you know, cleaning the nozzle when you're done and all of that. And it never failed. I can't get glue out of it. So I always had extras around for the disasters. I still work, I do it once a month, just once a month with a group of kids doing art projects, and I make sure those glue bottles are working because it kind of stops everything in its track when it's not. So I'm going to cut this off a little. And I'm going to cut off either this rick or this rack. Don't know which it is. There we go. Oh, I like that. I may use some colored pencils and color her in a little bit. Let's see, a button. A button. I don't know why I'm in the mood for a button, but I am. I might be able to, oh, really bright yellow button. I was thinking right in there. That would look kind of cute. I think it needs some more color on it, don't you? I don't know if this goes, I've got these little tickets, sewing tickets like this. That's a little wide. Ew, what about this? That will work. Yeah, this is from a digital, but I don't know what the digital is. That's something I need to start keeping track of because I know people like to know, you know, where you get the digitals. I'm not using a ton of digitals in this, but sometimes they really do come in handy. I like to try to use what I can find. So we go. Yeah, well, I'm going to put a word on there also, I think. I've got these nice sewing words. This one says fasteners. I think those two kind of balance out a little bit. So I think that's nice. Yeah, I think that's really looks nice. Okay, I'm okay with that. Are you guys okay with it? I know, you know, you're the silent majority, aren't you? Anyway, here we go. There, fasteners with rickrack. Ugh, can anything be better? I think that one looks good. So, whoops, I didn't glue the button down. Way to go, Carol. There it went, down on the floor somewhere. Oh my goodness, sometimes, you know, don't you just gotta wonder? Yeah. Hey, are any of you reading any good books lately? I am a part of a book club, and we are reading this year books from, it's online, it's called Book Girls Guide, and these two women started this site. It is so good. They have challenges, like they have around the United States, around the world challenges, and my group is doing through the decades. So we are, each month we pick books from a different decade, and what's great is they have all these wonderful recommendations. That's too big. Recommendations for books, and then for each decade, and you pick, you know, a book that you like, and we're all reading different books, but from the same decade. And they give wonderful reviews of different books from the decade. And that I really like. This is a pretty busy one. Trying not to get it overly busy. So, this month we're reading books from the 1930s, and I have read a couple of books from that decade. I have read, what are they called? West with Giraffes by Linda Rutledge, which is a great story, historical fiction based on this older man and this younger boy who has lost his parents because of the Dust Bowl. And they take two giraffes across country in a truck to the San Diego Zoo, which the San Diego Zoo at that time had the very first woman zoo director. And these giraffes ended up in New York during a hurricane. One of them was injured. I like that. The pop of yellow I think is nice. Let me see what else I can do before I start gluing, which I tend to glue after, and I need to wait and see. That's kind of nice. It shows through, or down here, or I could put it across up there. So anyhow, the book is about the adventures they have going across country in a truck with these two giraffes. The female has a leg injury that is splinted. And it gives you a really good look about what life was like during that time and this journey. So if you like animals at all, the kind of the bond that both the boy and the older man have with these giraffes is very cool. And there is a cute woman, redhead, that is wants to get her work in Life magazine, and the young man has really fallen for her, and she's following them. So that adds a whole another little dimension. I think I'll go with that. So, so if you're looking for something good to read, that one was good. And then I read another one called, this one wasn't listed. I happen to have it. It's called The Mayfair Bookshop by Eliza Knight, and it's about, first I thought it was about a fictitious writer, but it's historical fiction about a writer from England called Nancy Mitford. And she was one of six, there were 6 girls and 1 boy in this family. And as the 30s started out, some of her sisters became really enamored with Hitler. In fact, went to Germany and knew Hitler. And then you have, and her mom was also that way. And then you have the dad and 3 of the sisters going, what are you thinking? So it follows them all the way through the war, through, you know, a lot of tragedy. And she's, Nancy Mitford is a writer. And so I've actually now got one of her books that when I finish the giraffe story, I think I'm going to read. Let's see if I can get this going a little better. And there we go. That's better. So I'm kind of excited to read it. And apparently it reflects some of the things she went through in the war and everything. So it's very good. 30s are an interesting time, you know, because it's pre-war, and I didn't know there were all these people. There was a whole group in England that were pro-Hitler, and that was just really interesting. So anyway, so those are 2 books I recommend. And I recommend the Book Girl's Guide. I think that's what it's called. And you just go online, and it doesn't cost anything. And I have found that their book reviews are really accurate. So I haven't found a dud yet. We've done 1910s, 20s, 30s. So next month it will be the 40s. So we'll see. Both of these, well, I don't know, I think the giraffe one, but the Mayfair Bookshop kind of goes into the 40s because it's in World War II. Do you think it needs something in there? Let's see. What we've got. Do you have anything that excites me to go in there? No, that won't fit. I could put that. No, that's not it. I know, do you do this thing? I do this all the time when I'm watching a video and someone's doing something. I go, no, or yes, that's great. And oftentimes I'll go, no, don't do that. And then afterwards I go, that was just the right decision. I'm glad they didn't listen to me as though they were. Anyway, oh, there's some cute little pairs of scissors. Is that going to be too much, do you think? Oh, I wish I could hear some of you speaking right now. Yes or no, or just leave it alone. Just leave it alone, Carol. I could do another word. Oh, this came from, I think, that book, Modern Sewing. How about Modern Sewing? I think that looks good. I think maybe I will distress it a little bit, even though I haven't distressed any of the other things. But I don't know, signs, you know, words I like to have pop out a little more. So I'm thinking about doing one more video on some ephemera for this sewing journal, and then I'm hoping that I'm going to do enough in between time that I can finish this up and get it onto my fictional Etsy store that I'm going to open that I haven't done so yet. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm happy with that one. And we'll just do one more, and then we'll close up shop. There's this one. I cut out some really cute Look at this cute little girl. I like her in between those two spots, I think. What else can I add? You know, it would be nice. Well, I have what I have near me, so I'm going to use what I've got right near me. Oh, I know. I have some of this stuff that I have done. You know, this is just paper, and you make it in a strip. You just zip down it, and it just gives a little something to stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Does that look too disjointed or something? Maybe it does. I'd kind of like to use it on there. I've got this pink, but it kind of doesn't go at all with what the little girl has on. But does it really matter? Maybe not. Or, you know, you're not supposed to leave them floating, from what I understand. That's not a good idea. So maybe I'll do the other one and put it down here so she's not floating in the air. That's a thought. Where is it? I don't know why I like this better. I like this one better. I like the colors in it for this particular little scene. So I think I'm going to do that. I like that. I had a little someone was telling about a little kid who he would say, I like it. So that's become my new thing. I like it. I think she's kind of cute there. All right, anything else? I seem to be into doing words. I can do some more words. What do I have in my word bank here? Update your wardrobe. Bias strip, top stitch. I have a lot of that going that way. Maybe I could put that just right there. Okay, I'm okay with it now. Sometimes I wonder why I labor so much over certain things. I don't know. It's not, well, it's better not to think of it as being precious, because then if you think of it as precious, then you don't risk stuff. So, uh-oh, I just tore her in half. It'll still work, but I don't like that I tore her in half. Yeah, this is an old one, and it probably would have been better if I had used a little liquid glue on her. I don't like her right there. I'm going to have her overlap onto here, her bottom half, and whoops. Gosh, Carol, come on. I ripped her a little bit in the top too. I'm going to make it work though. You know, sometimes you just have to improvise a little bit. Here we go. Okay, there you go, little girl. There. Good as new. And then I'm going to do the little top stitch. Okay, I think we've got enough going on there. There's a lot. I like things going on, but I don't like it to be too busy. I don't know. I need to work on my layering, I think. I haven't been, it's not my forte, and I like when people do it, but I need to learn to do it better. Okay, let's put the glue top on. And this back into my art glitter glue. Okay, Carol, if I can see it, I can do it. There we go. And here's what we did today. That one. And there's that one. And that one. And that one. All right. Oh, look at those two go together. That's funny. I hope all of you have just a really wonderful day. And thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's just my second one. I hope that you'll subscribe, make comments. Hopefully with time, I am going to get better and better at doing this. So thanks for tagging along with me. Bye-bye.